While Silicon Valley was celebrating their latest $40,000 GPUs, something unexpected happened in a Hangzhou laboratory that nobody saw coming. A team led by a former Google engineer just built something they weren't supposed to have access to. Not because it's technologically impossible, but because according to US export controls, they didn't have the tools to make it. And yet, here we are. This is the story of how China is building a parallel AI chip ecosystem from scratch, and why Nvidia might have more competition than anyone expected. Let me paint you a picture that shouldn't make sense. Imagine trying to beat a Ferrari in a 1990s Honda Civic. You're using older parts, outdated technology, and you're banned from buying the good stuff. That's essentially the challenge Zhonghao Xining faced. This Chinese startup, based in Hangzhou, claims their China chip delivers 1.5 times the performance of Nvidia's A100 GPU, while consuming 25 to 30% less power. Here's the kicker. They built this using a manufacturing process that's several generations behind what Nvidia uses. Let's break down what the company is claiming. Performance: 1.5x faster than the A100 according to their benchmarks. Power efficiency: 25% reduction in energy consumption. Cost: reports suggest 42% of Nvidia's per unit compute cost. Manufacturing: built on a 12-nanometer process, Nvidia uses cutting-edge 4 to 5 nanometers. If you know anything about chip design, this seems counterintuitive. Older manufacturing processes typically mean bigger transistors. Bigger transistors usually mean more power consumption and slower speeds. It's physics. So how did they claim to do it? The answer appears to lie in one word: specialization. While Nvidia builds Swiss Army knives that can do everything from gaming to AI to scientific simulations, Zhonghao Xining built what appears to be a laser-focused tool designed exclusively for AI workloads. Think of it this way. An Olympic sprinter will always beat a decathlete in the 100-meter dash, not because they're more athletic overall, but because they've optimized everything for that single task. That seems to be the strategy here. Now here's where this story gets interesting. The founder, Yanggong Yifan, isn't some random startup founder. He's a Stanford and University of Michigan-trained electrical engineer who worked directly on Google's TPU V2, V3, and V4. He literally helped build the chips that power some of the world's most advanced AI systems. His co-founder, Zheng Hanxuan, who spent years at Oracle and Samsung's R&D center in Texas. These aren't amateurs reverse engineering someone else's work. These are architects who helped write the original playbook. In a September interview, Yanggong revealed something telling. During my years in Silicon Valley, it became clear that a US-China tech war was inevitable. So he went home, and he brought his expertise with him. But here's what caught the attention of Western chipmakers. Our chips rely on no foreign technology licenses, ensuring security and long-term sustainability from the architectural level. Read that again. No Western intellectual property, no foreign licenses, no external dependencies. They're claiming to have built an entirely independent AI chip ecosystem from the ground up. Let me explain what appears to make this chip different, even if you're not a tech person. Nvidia's GPUs are incredible machines. They can render your video games, mine cryptocurrency, train AI models, run scientific simulations, and process graphics. They're generalists, which means every GPU carries hardware for tasks it might never use. It's like carrying a toolbox everywhere when all you need is a hammer. Based on the reported performance characteristics, Zhonghao Xining's chip appears to strip away everything except what AI needs: dense matrix multiplication and tensor operations. No graphics cores, no cryptocurrency mining circuits, No gaming features. Just focused AI computation. The claimed result? Approximately 40% better performance per watt compared to the A100, though independent verification of these numbers isn't yet available. Here's another interesting design choice. Nvidia's A100 uses expensive high-bandwidth memory that consumes significant power and depends on complex supply chains. The performance profile suggests the Chinese engineers took a different approach. Simpler external memory paired with what appears to be large on-chip buffers that keep data close to where it's needed. It's like the difference between constantly running to a distant warehouse versus having a well-stocked pantry in your kitchen. Now, some of you are thinking, wait, the A100 is from 2020. Nvidia has released way better chips since then. You're absolutely right. Nvidia's H100 offers roughly 3x the performance, and the new Blackwell architecture promises even more. So why does this matter? Since 2022, the US has implemented increasingly strict export controls preventing China from accessing cutting-edge AI chips. According to US Commerce Secretary testimony, Huawei will produce only 200,000 AI chips in 2025, while China legally imported around 1 million downgraded Nvidia chips in 2024. Translation: Chinese companies are starving for compute power. Consider these facts. H100 chips cost $25,000 to $40,000 each, with 8 GPU systems reaching $200,000 to $400,000. New Blackwell chips are priced around $45,000 plus per unit. Many Chinese data centers are still operating with a 100-level performance or worse. Zhonghao Xining's chip entered mass production in 2023 and generated $68.4 million in revenue that year. In a market where you can't buy the latest chips even if you have the money, a domestically produced alternative that claims to match 2020-era performance at 40% of the cost becomes attractive to customers with limited options. When you have a 700-watt GPU multiplied across a cluster, power budgets become a major constraint. Many Chinese data centers aren't just hardware limited, they're power limited. A chip that delivers more computation per watt allows deployment of more AI capability within the same energy envelope. It's not about being the absolute fastest. It's about being the most deployable under real-world constraints. Here's what makes this development significant. This isn't about today's performance. It's about tomorrow's trajectory. ASICs have an interesting characteristic. They can improve substantially through software optimization without changing the silicon. Better compilers, smarter memory management, optimized data flow. Each software update can make the hardware more efficient without requiring new fabrication. Google demonstrated this with their TPUs. Early versions were limited, but through iterative software improvements, they became increasingly capable. Zhonghao Xining has already introduced TAIs, a compute cluster that reportedly can link 1,024 China chips together for training large-scale models that they're building an ecosystem, not just a chip. Remember that quote about no foreign licenses? That's not just marketing. That represents a strategic bet on technological independence. In a world where the US can restrict chip access overnight through export controls, where smuggling operations involving $160 million worth of Nvidia GPUs get shut down, where China retaliates by restricting rare earth exports and adding US companies to unreliable entity lists, the ability to design, manufacture, and deploy chips domestically isn't just an advantage. It's strategic survival. So here's what we're looking at. This isn't just another chip trying to copy Western technology. This appears to be the emergence of a parallel ecosystem, one that trades cutting-edge performance for independence, efficiency, and cost-effectiveness. Nvidia still dominates the frontier, but the frontier isn't the only place that matters. We've seen this pattern before. Japan in the 1980s with automobiles, South Korea in the 1990s with consumer electronics. China in the 2000s with manufacturing. The pattern is consistent. Start by matching yesterday's standard. Build competence. Iterate relentlessly. Eventually, close the gap. The question isn't whether China can build cutting-edge AI chips. The question is, how long will it take? One final data point. Zhonghao Xining has disclosed plans targeting an IPO by the end of 2026. They're planning to go public, which means they're confident enough in their technology and market position to eventually open their books to investors. That suggests they believe they have a sustainable business, not just a one-time technical achievement. The AI chip landscape is evolving, and the competition is more diverse than most people realize. What do you think? Is this the beginning of a parallel chip ecosystem, or just a temporary response to export controls? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay ahead of the biggest shifts in AI and tech, hit that subscribe button. This story is still unfolding,